Hello, and I welcome you all for this program of ethical hacking. Yes, before learning, I wish to tell you about how this internet is organized. Everyone uses internet. Today's world, without internet, there is nothing. So here, the internet, which was born in during 1995, and now it has expanded to almost parts of the globe. And now we will learn about how this internet is really organized, or questions like who basically manages the internet, or who basically defines or the domains, or maybe IP addresses, etc., etc. Who does all these things? Is this automatic? No. So we will learn about IANA. IANA stands for Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. So we will explore about IANA.org to understand about some part of terminology which will be helpful for the next part of our ethical hacking. So this is IANA.org. The website looks like this. IANA. So basically IANA has couple of responsibilities. One is basically like to assign the numbers. Numbers means the IP addresses, and also to define the domains, the root domains. So here, when we see about this IANA, IANA is across the world. It has a very large amount of address space. So to define or to reduce the complexity, IANA has defined a RIR, Regional Internet Registries. You can see this when I click this IP address and AS numbers. You see there are 5 large domains. The first one being this RN. I'm discussing based on the volume, the load, or the volume of the traffic. RN stands for American region. So the entire North America and Canada comes under this region. So this is called as, regional internet registries. Okay. So the second APNIC stands for Asia Pacific region, which covers the entire Oceanica, that is Australia. Next is the RIPE, which has more amount of data transfers, etc. from the entire Europe called as a region called as RIPE. So the fourth one, which I am going to discuss, is the LACNIC, Latin America. So the green color one. So the fifth one is like I can say is the Afrinic, which covers the entire Africa. So in this way, this INA basically, it's scattered across the globe using these regional internet registries. And what does regional internet registry does? They have LIR, is local internet registries. Like any ISPs, which is across APNIC or RN or RIPE, they approach these local, RIRs, and get themselves registered to get a public domain space in internet. So if I say, I'll take an example. So if I say, what is my IP? What is my IP? So it will display about my IP so and so, or maybe you can say what's my IP in V4 or as well as V6. My public IP is, yeah, I can say this is the address. So if I want to know which zone this particular IP, to make it simple, I'm taking this V4, but V6 also is managed by INA itself. This is my IP. I'm just copying. So now here in these numbers, I'll slightly go down and focus this particular IPv4 address space. You can see this, my IP starts from 49. See the first one, you can see the prefix to which zone it has been given across will be mentioned here. If you see across this 49/8 is the CIDR, CADR means which has 8 bits of network addressing. 49 IP is being allocated to APNIC. Okay, and who is basically managing this APNIC? Who is .apnic.net. I can go to this particular website and then ask my IP address or the owner of this particular IP. So here I can say search this IP address in this APNIC database, because this is managed by APNIC. When I say search, it will tell you the owner of this particular IP address from the public IP. You can see this is from Reliance Geo Network. You can see they own this complete range of 49.32.0.0 to 49.47. I think you can see this they have a subnet of 16 into 255 into 255 IPs. That many IPs they have, they own. So they make use for internet purpose. Okay. So in this way, if you figure out and if you have any issues or any problem within the range of IPs, you have these addresses which are publicly listed across. No doubt they will be responding whenever if there is maintenance or it can be issue or it can be a trouble or whatever it is. So you can see the complete details about this one. This is how this IANA provides the address space. This is the first task basically to define the complete address space. You can see starting from 20010 onwards. This is for local identification. From 1 onwards, you can see up to 223 is the internet space. 223. From 224 onwards, we use this IP address space for multicasting. So you can see this one, multicasting is the addressing where routers internally communicate each other to establish path from one location to another location. 224 onwards to 239 you see this multicast, and from 240 to 255 we use for research or future use. The IP is starting from 224 to 255 are not in use. They cannot be used for internet purpose. Okay, the rest of the space from 001 to 224 can be used for internet with some exceptions. So those exceptions again I will be speaking, like as 127.001 is mainly used for local host, a part of every system. So this is for diagnostic purposes which everyone uses. And the other reserved addressing, we also call as reserved addressing, private addressing, or intranet addressing, whatever you say. This is not part of internet. Please remember all the 10 dot series 10C0000 to 1055 255 is called as private addressing. Any corporates or anyone can make use, because these addresses will not be communicated in internet. The second part is again from 172.16.0.0 to 172.31 255 255. The other part is 192.168.0.0 to 192.168 255 255. These three address spaces are called as private addressing. So please remember, if you are preparing for interviews or maybe for exam, you may expect this type of private addressing questions also. Design a network, or even if you want to be a part of a network security community, you have to learn about this private addressing. And remaining part of IANA, which I want to tell you, is like root domain servers. Root domain, it is also called a domain servers. These are called as the root servers. Root, there are 13 servers. So these are A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M up to M. Currently, these are the 13 root servers which are being used. Okay. And of course, I can also show you about this is the root zone database, which is all this located in IANA itself. We have various .com, .net, many other extensions which are there. So you can go through all this in this particular one, which, and time to time IANA declares more and more root domains based on the requirements which are coming across. It can be even regional also, or it can be, you can see even in some local language also these things. So based on the requirement, these domains come across. Okay. So this is also defined by IANA. So couple of things which again I'm saying, IANA has control on the IP addresses, whether it is V4 or V6. The second part is the root domains and domain servers. Okay, in this way we can search using this whois tool. Whois, if you want to search for iron, you can say whois.iron. This is APNIC, so we are using whois. Some more important concepts, like you have protocols. There are about 256 protocols which are there. These are also called as networking protocols. The path is defined to define the destination or to arrive the destination. Routing information protocol, or maybe a BGP, border gateway protocol, or maybe EIGRP enhanced, which is Cisco's proprietary protocol, or maybe OSPF. These are all called as networking protocols. So this is 256 numbers are there maximum. We have only 8 bits in the header. So and the other one is the ports. Ports. Port is nothing but how the data is sent or how the data is entered into the system. So in every network, if a system is networked, whether it is a laptop or a desktop or a mobile phone or maybe a pad, it's connected to network means it has a port. It has a port. So the maximum number of ports in a system can be 2 raised power 16, which is 65536. So these ports can be either TCP or UDP. TCP is Transport Control Protocol, UDP is User Datagram Protocol. So TCP, synchronous communication, UDP is just connectionless, orientation. You ask me the data, I just send it, that's all. There is no acknowledgements, no windowing, and we have only a request coming across an ACK, just send the data. So this is how the TCP and UDP are. Sometimes a port can be either a TCP or UDP or both. Like to refer some of the things, the ports like common ports which we use. Port number 21 is used for FTP. Port number 22 is used for SSH. Port number 23 is used for Telnet. Port number 25 is used for SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Port number 53 is used for DNS. Port number 80, everyone is familiar, that is www Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So these are some of the protocols mentioned. So this is how the IANA is organized. Please go through this particular one of the IP address space, including V4 or V6. It will be helpful. Thank you.